Hey, after the last year of Jupiter, Mr. Jupiter, you get a car, Oprah in air element of Gemini, you're kind of coming down off of this lofty energy that your reasonableness, your truths are somehow better than other people's truths. While they may be more precise and have been last year, where you've been listened to a little bit more, this is about you moving Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and we're going to start with Libra because now that Jupiter has moved into Cancer, into the Western relational hemisphere, which is just Cancer to Sagittarius, is where the joie de vivre or the joy is about how you are an ensemble. That's together in French, right? Bizarre, it's weird. I love those. But anyway, point that the Jupiter in Gemini is moving from let's just throw the truths together, half and all, and see if we can't sort of like making the Frankenstein monster, making truths out of a conglomerate of half truths. No bueno, because Cancer is like source or not. Did you get to the source or the root of why you are or what happened to make you the way that you are? So, Libra, you're looking at how can I integrate my private self, my private needs with the collective? Yeah, because Cancer rules your 10th house of the Google reputation. Somebody Googled you. What would they find out? Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And so Jupiter there is how can we expand our reputation, our sense of service, our you get a car self, the belief that the cosmos is ultimately abundant, right? Yeah. And with you being the scales of justice, Libra, the I balance or I seek and access equilibrium. That's my favorite Libra thing is I maintain equilibrium, right? So the more that you, Libra, understand that your superpower, or one of them, is initiating a sense of harmonic space. And Jupiter says, how do you expand that to include those people that you really, that your ego is like, what the fuck? But your soul, and here, this is tab Libra, our raw material, hashtag ego soul balance, or hashtag one love ego soul. That's one of the fundamental truths right now with Jupiter and Cancer is how do we see every human being as an extended family member? And if we meet folk, new people, with which family member do they remind you of? Next and not least is definitely I know Aquarius. And Aquarius is the water bearer. So some of you think mistakenly you confuse the symbol with the element. No, Aquarius is definitely an air sign, big brained and all. I know, left hemisphere, but Aquarius knows so much information. Hence the hashtag analytical psychic. That's really Aquarius. They analyze and then send it sort of like that psych show on USA or Medium. I mean, there are different ways in which the left and right hemisphere work together. But Aquarius, Cancer is also a humanitarian sign, just like yours is. But Cancer tends to say, I want to have the humanitarian energy right next to me, or those people who look most like me. So, how do you understand the at? I'm angry at someone, or I work for someone, which is the separative yang masculine, to the with. We're collectively frustrated and we bring in a union. We disrupt. We go into the roots of our separation and we find a larger common ground. So the Jupiter in Cancer Aquarius is how do you embody a more inclusive common ground? Well, it starts at home. You can't be generally, you know, detached and cool and attractive to everyone outside the home and then come home and kick the dog or scream at the husband, the wife, the partner. No bueno. So you've got to understand that you can't expect to treat people at a distance really well and you come home and nobody really has affection for you. And certainly last but not least, Gemini, the Jupiter moving through your sign, you may have seen flashes, mind flashes of how everything is interconnected and this sense of embodying this interconnectedness, being able to move sort of like messages with your corpus callosum, between the hemispheres, this sense of individualism on the left and this unifying wholeness on the right. And I'm loving to tell all Gemini suns, moons, and rising, and anybody who has anything in Gemini, that it's really about not so much the masculine and feminine split, although that's important. It's about the old wise person, whether that's the crone, whether that's the cynics, whether that's the old wise man or whatever, with the curious child. So this duality that we see is first of all an illusion, we know that. But the more that you, Gemini, can use this Jupiter in Cancer to integrate on a feeling heart level, the expression of your inner truths. Oh God, the beauty, the magnetism, the ability to just bring it forward. So, the warning, two of them, be careful what you wish for. And if you want to grant a man, woman, or them their wishes, may you live in interesting times. It's about if you want to harm someone, grant them their wishes. So use one of those twins to look at, well, what is this wish really going to do for me? You might even find that your king or King Midas or the queen of manifestation. I got to work on that metaphor a little bit, but this is a year for you, Gemini, that the more you include others in your thought processes, even if you're rambling a little bit, like what I'm doing right now, it's better, I feel, to overshare and let the other person tell you when they've heard enough instead of being in the other extreme where you're silent, observing, and performing mystery. Yeah, you feel me. That's why you get along with Scorpio so well, because we let you kind of perform that mystery while we're busy sussing what the fuck, we know where you at. Have a good year, y'all.